So good morning to all. Last class we have discussed about the parking volume. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the parking load. So the parking load gives the area under the accumulation curve. So it can be obtained by multiplying the number of vehicles occupying the parking area at each time. The each time interval with the time interval. Then it is expressed as vehicle hours. So the average parking duration, it is the ratio of total vehicle hours to the number of vehicles parked. So average parking vehicle duration is equal to parking load divided by parking volume. Then parking turnover, it is the ratio of number of vehicles parked in a duration to the number of parking bays available. So this can be expressed as number of vehicles per bay per time duration. So parking turnover is equal to parking volume divided by number of bays. Then parking index. Parking index is also called occupancy or efficiency. Okay, so the occupancy or efficiency. So it is defined as the ratio of number of bays occupied in a time duration to the total space available. So it gives an aggregate measure of how effectively the parking space is utilized. So parking index is equal to parking load divided by parking capacity. So this all those things, okay. So we have to give the different category of parking system in this area. So the parking survey. Parking survey are conducted to collect the parking statistics. The most common parking survey conducted are in and out survey, fixed period sampling, and license plate method of survey. So the three methods: in and out survey, fixed period sampling, then license plate method. So in first method, in out survey, the occupancy count in the selected parking space is taken at the beginning. Then the number of vehicles that enter the parking space for a particular time interval is counted. Then the number of vehicles that leave the parking space is also taken. The final occupancy in the parking space is also taken. But we won't get any data regarding the time duration for which a particular vehicle used that particular lot. Then the parking duration and turnover is not obtained. Hence, we cannot estimate the parking fare from this survey. Here, the labor required is very less. Now we are moving the next method like the fixed period sampling. So this is almost similar to in and out survey. All vehicles are counted at the beginning of the survey. Then after a fixed time interval that may vary between 15 minutes to 1 hours, the count is again taken. Here there are changes we are occur. Okay, so what is the change? Okay, here there are a chance of missing the number of vehicles that were parked for a short duration. Now we are moving for the license plate method. This result in the most accurate and realistic data. Why? Because all the vehicle we can expect it through only it will be run in the road license based. So every parking space is monitored at a continuous interval of 15 minutes or so, and the license plate number is noted down. So this will give the data regarding the duration for which a particular vehicle was using the parking base. So this will help in calculating the fare because fare is estimated based on the duration for which the vehicle was parked. But this method is very labor intensive. So the hill effect of parking, conjunction, accidents, environmental pollution, obstruction to fire, fighting operation. So what is meant by conjunction? The parking takes considerable street space, leading to the lowering of the road capacity. The speed will be reduced, journey time and delay will be increased. So the operational cost of the vehicle increases, leading to great economical loss to the community. Then coming from accidents, the careless monitoring of parking and unparking leads to accidents, which are referred to as parking accidents. So the accidents occur while driving out a car from the parking area, then the careless opening of the doors of parked cars. Then third one is the environmental pollution. They also cause pollution to the environment because stopping and starting of vehicle which parking and unparking result in noise and foam. So they also affect the aesthetic beauty of the buildings. The next fourth one is the obstruction to firefighting operations. So the parked vehicles may obstruct the movement of firefighting vehicles. So sometimes they block access to hydrants and access to buildings. So the parking requirement along with this one, there are some minimum parking requirements for different types of buildings. So for residential plot area less than 300 square meter require only community parking space. So for residential plot are from 500 to 1000 square meter, the minimum 1/4 of the open area should be reserved for parking. So the office may require at least one space for every 70 square meter as parking area. So one parking space is enough for 10 seats in a restaurant, whereas the theater and cinema hall need to keep only one parking space for 20 seats. Thus, the parking requirements are different for different land use zones. So, what are the types? Okay, the types we will discuss in the next class.